Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 6:30, and I will call this regular meeting of the Burnsville City Council to order. It is our tradition to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and we invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the first item on the agenda is the oath of offices. Our city clerk, Mrs. Collins, will be giving the oath of office to our two newly elected and incumbent officials. Ms. Collins.
Thank you. Councilmember Keeley, if you'll come. You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dan Keeley, do solemnly swear
I, Dan Keeley, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Minnesota,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully will discharge the duties of council member of the city of Burnsville
and faithfully will discharge the duties of council member of the city of Burnsville
in the county of Dakota and state of Minnesota
in the county of Dakota and the state of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dan, here's your... Do you want a picture?
Yeah. Congratulations, Councilmember Keeley, and I think there's a photo op.
We have a photo op and we have a signature.
On three. On three. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more on three. 1, 2, 3.
That's for you. And I need you to sign that. Do you have a pen? Okay. Councilmember Keeley. If you raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, William J. Coughlin, do solemnly swear
I, William J. Coughlin, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Minnesota,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully will discharge the duties of council member of the city of Burnsville
and faithfully will discharge the duties of council member of the city of Burnsville
in the county of Dakota and state of Minnesota,
in the county of Dakota, state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
On three. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more on three. 1, 2, 3.
That's for you.
Congratulations, Councilmember Keeley and Councilmember Coughlin, and welcome back to the dais. And we'll do great work as we continue our service to the citizens of Burnsville. Thank you for all that you've done and what you will continue to do. So we're looking forward to working together again.
Thank you, Lily.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is announcements, and this have to do with all of our upcoming meetings. Regular council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, January 20th at 6:30 p.m. and Tuesday, February 3rd at 6:30 p.m. We have a council work session scheduled for Tuesday, January 13th at 6:30 p.m., a governance meeting that's scheduled for Tuesday, January 27th at 6:30 p.m., and we have our all-day work session scheduled for Friday, January 30th at 8:30 a.m., and that meeting will be held at Nicollet Inn in one of the boardrooms. All other council meetings are always scheduled here in the council chambers. Also want to let the public know that following this meeting, the members of the City Council and our staff will have a holiday get-together at the Parkcrest Community Room at 12501 Nicollet Avenue. No official business it will be conducted. It's a time for us to come together and to socialize and to celebrate the holiday season. The next item is citizens' comments. This is the opportunity for anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on an item that is not on the printed agenda and not an application form that will be coming before us at a future meeting. And I understand that, Mr. Martinson, you wish to address the council. Yes, please come forward. Give us your name and address for the record. And, yes. And Mr. Martin, yes, over here by the where the microphone is. And also, so Mr. Martinson, I understand that our staff has already given you the ordinance, which you are here to speak to.
Yes,
That's been in place since 1991?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. Well, tell us how we can help you to comply.
Good evening, Mayor and newly accounted council members. This is my first time speaking, so please forgive me. But we live out on, Sunny Acres Mobile Home Park in Burnsville.
Yes.
And this past summer, we've had some new ordinances that were apparently placed in our property where some certain garbage cans, we have to have them barricaded up, sheds removed, certain footage from our home to our sheds and from the other person's lot. But the lots are so small, wide for single wide homes, but they're double wide homes put on there, so it's practically impossible for the footage to be away, for 10 feet away from our house, from the shed. And what I don't understand is why these are such important issues to us, because we live out in the park and not really a thoroughway for the roads and everybody else to drive through. The only people that see our lots and our garbage cans is the people who drive out there. And I guess a lot of people I know of that live out there that are, I guess, misunderstood and don't understand why we have to abide by these ordinances. Maybe, yes, they were on the books for some 20 to 30 years, but maybe they could be changed or updated a little bit just to accommodate. Because I've been talking to Ted Oakland, who does work in this office, and he was saying that we put barricades around the garbage cans, but then you can still see them if you drive one way, but not the other way. And there's so many issues that he has with us, not personally, but the whole park. We just don't understand why he's...
Mr. Martinson, the ordinances have been on the books since 1991, and we are now enforcing them. And the people who are the owners of your park,
Yes.
the management company, were here when we were going through all of those work sessions. So they understand what it is that we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that our community, the whole community of Burnsville, not just the residents that are not in the mobile parks, but everybody, are to comply with the ordinances so that the properties that we have in the city of Burnsville are well maintained. We're an aging community, and now we want to make sure, because there have been so many complaints, it has been one of the biggest issues that we have about property maintenance, that people are not taking care of their property. And this is also true of mobile home parks. And the people who own your parks were at all of the work sessions that we had on this issue and the challenges. So they are well aware of it. And they were happy that we were going to be enforcing some of these rules.
Okay, but then 2 years ago, we had another additional shed put in our lot, so-called lot, and we had talked to the manager twice before and say, hey, can we put in another shed? And we exactly where we wanted to put it. And he says, sure, go ahead, that's fine. Nobody's going to say anything. But then 2 years later, he put in a double-wide home right next to us, which really screwed the whole thing up. And the lots are so small. And
That's an issue you then have with the people who own the property, not with us.
okay.
Your issue then is with them because they put in another lot that now,
We have 2 sheds if it's okay with the park?
no.
Well,
You
you
will
just-
always, no. You said that the owner of the park
Yes.
allowed a double wide.
No, allowed 2 sheds at first.
Well, no, they have to always come in. You will always have to come in and make sure that you have permission to put in a shed, and probably not because you already have a shed on the lot.
Well, we have permission to put in that second shed.
But by whom? Not by the city.
No, by the park manager.
Well, they don't have that authority.
Okay, well, I was misinformed then. But,
Yes.
but
Yes, you
I'm
were.
This is, it may be a dumb question, but, when you drive around our lot and stuff, why are people so concerned about our garbage cans looking? I mean, we put them up, right up near the house, and then we take them once a week, bring them up 10 feet to the street, and then we put them back 10 feet right next to the house. And I have a snow blower right in front of the house too, to do my driveway and stuff, but where can I put it? Besides where it is now, it's all covered up in a tarp. Some of these rules, I don't understand. I really don't.
Ms. Faulkner, I believe that you had some comments to make.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, Mr. Martinson, the city ordinance only allows 1 shed per property unless you have a larger property in the rural area of Burnsville. So even though your park manager may have said it was okay, it doesn't comply with the city code. So that was probably where that misinformation or disconnect came from.
Okay.
With regards to where you put things, it is a very dense community with a lot of houses in a small area. And you're exactly right about the double wides. Everybody can have 1 shed, and what you put in it is up to you. And we are working with all the property owners to the best that we can to get compliance. So if you need time to remove your shed, we'll give you time to remove your shed, a reasonable amount of time. We understand that that can be a problem for homeowners. But as the mayor said, the ordinances apply to everybody in the city. And so we started a proactive code enforcement because we were getting a lot of complaints throughout the city, and we need to be consistent in what we do and how we enforce codes. We can't pick and choose which neighborhoods to enforce the codes on, so we are doing the entire city.
Okay, now, can we have till next summer to get rid of our shed with all the belongings? 'Cause
I'll talk
otherwise-
to you after the meeting,
Okay,
and
all right.
certainly we can work out an arrangement.
Okay,
that's
there's
it.
other things I'd like to talk about too, but I don't want to take up too much time.
Mr. Martinson, Ms. Faulkner can give you her card, and she can speak with you either tonight or you can meet with her again.
Okay, I appreciate your time, thank
Oh,
you.
you're very welcome.
What's your name and address, sir?
We have it.
John Martinson. 255 Burnsville Circle. Yep.
Thank you. Now, the next item on the agenda is additions to the final agenda, and this is for emergency items. Ms. Johnston, are there any emergency items to come before the body?
Madam Mayor, staff has one request for an addition to the agenda, and we would request that the council add to the miscellaneous portion of the agenda an update on the investigation, the issues that were brought forward at citizen comments on December 16th regarding from Mr. Adam DeLong.
Very good. Members of the council to add an item to the agenda, and staff is asking that this be placed under miscellaneous. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
And any comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay, and the motion is approved. That item is now added under miscellaneous. Members of the council, the next item is the consent agenda. And the consent agenda is a group of items that's considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. However, an item can be removed from the consent agenda for a separate discussion and vote. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes an item to be removed for a separate discussion and vote? Ms. Johnston,
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
members of the council, may I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Keeley makes a motion, second by Councilmember Wynn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, and the motion carries. On the we have no items on regular agenda and on the miscellaneous agenda. Ms. Johnston,
Madam Mayor, Mr. Jamnik, our city attorney, is going to provide an update to you all on the investigation.
okay, Mr. Jamnik.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, at our last meeting, Mr. Adam DeLong read a letter at the citizen comments section of the meeting regarding a request for medical service response at his home on January 7th, 2014. As Council knows, providing the high quality and professional service to the public through our fire and police departments is one of the city's core functions, and if someone feels they have been treated unfairly or improperly, the city takes that concern very seriously. Consequently, following Mr. DeLong's appearance, we re-reviewed the documentation of the response. Previously, it had been reviewed by two of our assistant fire chiefs and one of our police department captains during the summer. But after the appearance, city manager, police chief, fire chief, and myself all reviewed the documentation. We conducted that additional review, looked at the complete file. We've concluded that the city employees performed all aspects of their duties in accordance with city standards and with the well-being and safety of the patient as their foremost priority. Personally, from my review of the incident, I've concluded that both the responding paramedics and officers treated the patient with care and sensitivity at the scene, during the transport, and at the hospital. They, as well as the hospital staff, in my opinion, were at all times respectful and calming for the patient. At no time did the medical response ever evolve into a police investigation. There was the peace officers only acted in support of the medical personnel. We've had no criminal investigation or any follow-up of that nature. It's always been solely a medical response. That they were so informed at the time and subsequently. It's my opinion that the council and residents of the city can be justifiably proud of the medics and officers and how they handled the response, how they performed their duties with regard to response time, level of restraint used, the care and treatment, the sensitivity of the treatment, and as I indicated, the city should be proud of that response, and I have no concerns regarding the quality of care that was provided. However, but because this matter involves medical response, we are legally restrained from providing full documentation and transparency. Much of the information on how we care for people is protected by federal HIPAA statutes and the State Data Practices Act. So I'm only sharing this with you basically tonight because we had the input at citizen comments, and we want to close the loop with confidence to the residents that we take these matters seriously and look into them. But any further discussion or elaboration would possibly violate state and federal laws, so we don't want to go into those details. However, we have communicated to the DeLongs, provided that information and that documentation. We have met with them, provided them all that information, and our conclusions that any allegations of mistreatment were unfounded. We're considering the matter closed. If the DeLongs would like to meet with us privately, we're willing to do that to elaborate on these findings. But as far as a public matter, we consider the matter closed.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Jamnik? Okay. Mr. Jamnik, a letter was sent to the DeLongs. Can that letter be placed in the record?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like a motion for the letter to be placed in the record.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Coughlin makes the motion, second by Councilmember Keeley. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay, and the motion carries. To you, Mr. Jamnik, to our city manager, Ms. Johnston, to our fire chief and our police chief, thank you very much for your service to our community and for all that you do to make this community safe and to ensure the care and proper response for the citizens of this community. And I am very confident with the work that you have all done in terms of the investigation, not only the reports, but the video that you have reviewed, all give you the findings that you have presented to us and to the response to the DeLongs. I also understand that Mr. Adam DeLong and his mother, Mrs. DeLong, were present at the investigation, and you went through all of this with them.
There was an meeting with them and reviewed the material.
Okay. So all of that has been done in a very proper way, members of the council. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you very much. There is no action for this item. It was just a report to us and to the citizens of the community. And there are no other items to come before us this evening, and a motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Keeley makes a motion, second by Councilmember Nguyen. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay, and the motion carries. And Happy New Year, and good night, everyone.